What's up, guys? This is Brian J's Nerd Talk. I should have reported on this when it dropped yesterday, but I was tired. I had to get some sleep because I had to wake up early to do stuff today. But big freaking news for Brandon Sanderson fans like myself. It was announced yesterday, reported by the Hollywood Reporter, that Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere is going to be adapted by Apple TV, which is Apple TV Plus, formerly known as Apple TV Plus. But they're adapting the Cosmere, they're adapting the Mistborn books as movies, and they're adapting the Stormlight Archive as a series. Brandon Sanderson is writing the scripts. He's going to be creating, consulting, producing, and writing these movies and shows. He's going to have full control. He's going to have the type of control that J.K. Rowling doesn't even have, and and obviously he didn't have on the Wheel of Time series. This could really be a great adaptation. If Brandon Sanderson's in full control and writing, it could be a faithful adaptation. It could be a great adaptation. Yes, there's going to be changes. Some of the male characters in the Mistborn books, especially in Era 1, are probably going to be female because Brandon wanted to do that, but he never. Either he didn't feel the courage to do it, or he just wasn't encouraged to do it. 20 years ago when he was writing Mistborn, and this year's the 20th anniversary for Mistborn Era 1 for the first Mistborn book. So 2006 is the 20th anniversary for Mistborn. But, oh man, I am so excited. I love the Stormlight Archive. All 5 of those books are incredible. Wind and Truth is flawed, but I do love the book, and Oathbringer is probably my least favorite, but it's still great. I love that book, but Words of Radiance is a masterpiece. I love Rhythm of War, Way of Kings, just incredible books. And I love the Mistborn books. In fact, even though Stormlight Archive is Brandon Sanderson's masterpiece and really his magnum opus, my personal favorite are the Mistborn books, especially Era 1, which I love a lot. But I love Era 2 as well, especially after Aloy of Law, where Shadow of Self to me is a masterpiece. I love Bands of Mourning. The Lost Metal is great as well. But I am just super, super excited for these adaptations. I think they're going to be great. We might even see a video game adaptation of Mistborn, Stormlight Archive. Now that Apple is going all ahead adapting these, Mistborn movie might have a big budget of $100 to $150 million. And with the right director, the movie could be great. And I hope Brandon Sanderson picks really elite filmmakers, elite people to make these movies in this show. So yeah, these are my thoughts. I am just so excited, for all of this. And I'm just ecstatic. I read all 7 Mistborn books starting in 2022 to 2023. I started reading the Stormlight Archive in December of 2023. And I read all 5 books over the span of 12 months. I started reading The Way of Kings in December 2023. And I read the next 4 books. I read Words of Radiance, Oathbringer, Rhythm of War. And I started reading Wind and Truth when it came out in December 2024, and I mostly loved every minute of that book, and it's going to be incredible. And Stormlight 6 has come out in 2021, but with these adaptations announced, it looks like some of the books that Brandon was planning to write are going to be delayed. I think the Elantra sequels are going to be completely delayed. Stormlight 6, I don't think it's going to get delayed, but you never know with productions. Stormlight 6 could get delayed, Stormlight 7 could get delayed. You just never know. But yeah, I am definitely ecstatic for these adaptations. And this is Brian J's Nerd Talk. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.